Hello everyone, welcome back. In this video we are going to learn about salts. So properties of acids and bases we have already done, and this is part 4th and last part of this chapter. So let's start now. So what is salt? We have already learned something while doing neutralization reaction. So when we were reacting acid and base, the product which we were getting was salt. So now we'll understand more about salt. So salt is an ionic compound which we get in neutralization reaction. See, this neutralization reaction we have already done. For example, NaCl. So in which we have Na positive and Cl negative ions. So basically you have to understand that salt is an ionic compound. Ionic means two ions are there, and this compound is made up with the help of ionic bond. Another definition we have: salt is a substance produced by the reaction of an acid with a base. So salt consists of this thing we have already learned. It's a reaction between acid and base. So that is the product which we get afterwards. And the salt consists of the positive ion, like this Na positive, of a base and the negative ion of an acid. So this is an additional thing you have to remember regarding salts. So the positive ion it gets from a base, and the negative ion it will get from an acid. So let's see how. I have taken one example. This is an example of neutralization reaction also. See, when this base sodium hydroxide NaOH is reacting with acid HCl. So it will give us NaCl, which is sodium chloride. This is salt, and we also use sodium chloride as common salt in our houses. So that is the other point. So we are getting sodium chloride from here plus water. So here they have mentioned in salt we will get positive ion. See, this is positive ion Na positive, which we will get from base. See, this is our base. Na we have got from base, Na positive, and negative ion, which is anion, we will get from acid. See, Cl we have got from HCl, hydrochloric acid. So salt is an ionic substance. See, two ions are there. Na positive ion means charged particles are there, and this positive charged particle we have got from base, and negative charged particle we have got from an acid. So let's take one more example. So here we can see acid is reacting with base. Acid is sulfuric acid H2SO4, and it is reacting with potassium hydroxide, which is a base, and it's giving us potassium sulfate, which is salt, and water. So in this salt, potassium sulfate, we have positive ion of potassium and negative ion of sulfate. So this positive ion we have got it from base. You can see K or potassium we have got from base, and negative ion of sulfate we have got from an acid. So that's what the definition of salt is telling us. It is an ionic substance. See, it's made up of an ion, or it is made up of an ionic bond. So these ionic bonds you have already done in 9th class. So here ion, simply you just have to remember these are ions. Ions means charged particle. This is positively charged particle, and this is negatively charged particle. So this is making ionic substance. So positive ion we have got from base, and negative ion, minus mean negative, this we have got from an acid. So that is the definition of salt. It is an ionic substance which we get from a reaction between acid and base, and positive ion we have got from base, and negative ion we have got from an acid. So here in this chapter we have to do some chemicals, or do the preparation of some chemicals which have been prepared from common salt. Common salt is sodium chloride, NaCl. If you want, you can make notes side by side. So the first substance which we are going to do is sodium hydroxide. Its chemical formula is NaOH. So this we prepare by passing electricity through an aqueous solution of sodium chloride. And aqueous solution of sodium chloride is also known as brine. And then it decomposes to form sodium hydroxide. First reaction we will see. See, this is aqueous solution of sodium chloride, which is also known as brine. So this solution is passed through electricity and then it is decomposes to give us sodium hydroxide plus chlorine gas and plus hydrogen gas. So this is the reaction, or you can also say the electrolysis of sodium chloride is giving us this sodium hydroxide. In this process, this reaction is also known as, or this process is also known as chlor-alkali process. See, because of the products form, chlor for chlorine and alkali for sodium hydroxide. Sodium hydroxide is alkali. Alkali we have already discussed. If you have not seen those videos in which we have discussed properties of acids and bases, you can, I have shared the links in description. You can go and see those videos. Here everything I have discussed regarding acids and bases. So we have already discussed alkali are water soluble bases. So this is alkali for sodium hydroxide and chlor for chlorine. So this process is also known as chlor-alkali process. So in this reaction, chlorine gas is given off at the anode and hydrogen gas it will be formed at the cathode, and sodium hydroxide it will be formed near the cathode. This you can just remember. So just to recap, sodium hydroxide can be obtained by passing electricity through the aqueous solution of sodium chloride. So we will get chlorine gas also and hydrogen gas also as the products. Now we have to do the uses of sodium hydroxide. It is used to make soap and detergents. See, we already know all the soaps and detergents, they are mostly basic, means they show basic character. So it is used in oil refining, it is used in paper manufacturing also, and it is used as a pesticide also. Pesticides, they are used in farming. It is used in PVC manufacturing also. So PVC pipes are used in drainage system. It's like a plastic material, so it is used in PVC manufacturing also. The next substance which we have to do is bleaching powder, and its chemical formula is CaOCl2, and it is also known as calcium oxychloride. So bleaching powder, it is produced by the action of chlorine on the dry slaked lime. Dry slaked lime is also known as calcium hydroxide. So you just have to link all the reactions. So in the previous reaction, if you have observed, chlorine was the product. So that chlorine we can use here to produce bleaching powder. You can see that reaction. This is dry slaked lime or calcium hydroxide. This chlorine which we have taken from the previous reaction, and the reaction between both of them, they are giving us calcium oxychloride, which is bleaching powder plus water. This is a simple reaction, you just have to remember it. And then the uses of bleaching powder we can discuss now. It is used for bleaching cotton and linen in textile industry, means clothing industry it is used, and it is also used for bleaching wood pulp in paper factories, and for bleaching washed clothes in laundry. Basically you can see it is used for bleaching purpose of wood and clothes. It is also used as an oxidizing agent in many chemical industries. Oxidation reaction you have learnt in chapter 1, that addition of oxygen. So from there you can relate this bleaching powder, it works as an oxidizing agent. It is also used to make drinking water free from germs. So these are the uses of bleaching powder. You can make a note of this reaction and uses. Now let's move forward towards the next substance. So that is baking soda. See, all these products we are preparing directly or indirectly from sodium chloride, which is common salt. So baking soda, you can see its formula is NaHCO3. It is also known as sodium hydrogen carbonate or sodium bicarbonate. It is produced using sodium chloride, see, as one of the raw materials. You have to remember this chemical reaction. This sodium chloride plus water plus carbon dioxide plus ammonia, it will give us ammonium chloride plus sodium hydrogen carbonate, which is baking soda. So this reaction you have to remember, and one thing you have to remember, that this is also we are preparing from common salt. So in this case, or in case of baking soda, you have to remember its properties also. First one, it is a mild non-corrosive basic salt. Non-corrosive means it will not get spoiled at any time. It is non-corrosive. So it is one of the property of baking soda. The second one is, when you heat baking soda, this reaction will take place. See, heating, you will get three products, or this will be decomposed. Baking soda, it will be decomposed into sodium carbonate plus water plus carbon dioxide on heating. So this is a property, you have to make note of this property, because this property will tell us how baking soda can be used. So let's discuss the usage. Baking soda, it is used for making baking powder. See, both baking soda and baking powder, both we can use in our cooking. Baking powder, it is a mixture of baking soda and tartaric acid. And second thing is, this reaction which we have done in properties also, then when we heat baking soda, we can get three products. So this carbon dioxide, it makes the food, because baking soda, it is used in preparing cakes or breads. Why it can be used? Because when baking soda is heated, it gives us carbon dioxide, and this carbon dioxide, it will cause bread or cakes to rise and also to make them soft and spongy. Baking soda is also an ingredient in antacids. So antacids we have discussed in the previous video. Antacids are those things which can reduce the effect of acids. So whenever we feel acidity, we eat these antacids or we drink antacids, because this sodium baking soda is alkaline in nature, and it will neutralize excess acid produced in the stomach, and which help us to give relief. It is also used in soda acid fire extinguisher. See, when sodium hydrogen carbonate or baking soda, it is heated, it is giving us carbon dioxide. So this carbon dioxide itself, it is a fire extinguisher. So that's why this baking soda is also used in soda acid fire extinguishers. So this was all about baking soda. Now let's move towards washing soda and its chemical formula. See, for all of these substances which we are doing, you have to remember the chemical formulas also. Chemical formula of washing soda is Na2CO3, this dot is into 10 molecules of water. So I can pronounce it like that, sodium carbonate. This 10 means deca, water means hydrate. So sodium carbonate decahydrate. So how we can prepare it? It can be obtained by heating baking soda. So we have to heat the baking soda first. So same reaction which we have done in previous steps also. So after that, because you have observed, when baking soda is heated, we will get sodium carbonate as one of our product. So then this sodium carbonate can be used to produce washing soda. It can be produced by recrystallization of sodium carbonate, and it is also a basic salt. Basic salt means which is made up of base, that salt in which strong base has been used. Because salt we always get from neutralization reaction between acid and base. So whenever strong base has been used and weak acid has been used, so that salt which you will get will be basic salt. See, this is the reaction. Sodium carbonate, when it is reacting or when recrystallization is done, we will get sodium carbonate decahydrate, which is washing soda. So this is also known as water of crystallization. When you see this, with this substance or with this compound, one dot is there and water molecules have been written, that is known as water of crystallization. It's a fixed number of water molecules present in one formula unit of a salt. See, in one formula unit 10 molecules of water are present. So it is a fixed number of water molecules. You cannot change this number. If it is 10, it can be 10. It cannot be more than 10 or less than 10. Now let's do the usage of washing soda. In usage, you can see sodium carbonate or washing soda is used in glass, soap and paper industries. It is used in the manufacture of sodium compounds such as borax. Borax is a sodium compound, so it is also used in the manufacture of that. And sodium carbonate can be used as a cleaning agent for domestic purposes. See, it's washing soda. It's from name itself it is understood that it is used for washing purpose also. It is also used for removing the permanent hardness of water. So these are the uses of washing soda. You can make a note of all these usage. And the last one is now plaster of Paris, which is also known as POP. In the previous you have already done, you have learnt water of crystallization. So here also one more salt is there in which water of crystallization is present, and that salt, it is known as gypsum. So its chemical formula is this: calcium sulfate into 2 molecules of water. So it is also known as calcium sulfate into 2 molecules of water. This is gypsum, and this 2 into water is water of crystallization, which means one formula of this, one formula unit of calcium sulfate into 2 molecules of water, it should have only 2 molecules of water. It should not be more or less than 2. So when this gypsum is heated at 373 Kelvin, it loses water molecules and it becomes calcium sulfate hemihydrate. See, hemi means half, and this is known as plaster of Paris. When this gypsum is heated, 1.5 molecule of water it will lose. So we have to heat it at this temperature. So then we will get plaster of Paris, calcium sulfate hemihydrate. So if you add water in gypsum, this reverse reaction will take place. Or if you add water in POP or plaster of Paris, see, then again you will get gypsum. Now let's do the usage of plaster of Paris. Doctors use it as a plaster for supporting fractured bone in the right position. So this is very hard substance, so that's why it can be used for this purpose also. It is also used for making toys, materials for decoration, and for making surfaces smooth. If you see ceiling of the houses, they are decorated with this plaster of Paris. It's very commonly used. So these were few uses of plaster of Paris. Now let's do some related questions of this topic. So the first one is, what is the common name of calcium oxychloride? I am sure you remember, just now we have done it. So the common name of calcium oxychloride is bleaching powder. So these questions I have selected from your textbook. If you want, you can note the questions and its answers side by side. Name the substance which on treatment with chlorine yields bleaching powder. I hope you remember. So that is dry slaked lime, which is calcium hydroxide. We have already learned in the second reaction, when chlorine is reacted with calcium hydroxide or dry slaked lime, we will get bleaching powder. The third one is, name the sodium compound which is used for softening hard water. This again very simple, that is washing soda. So what will happen if a solution of sodium hydrocarbon is heated? Sodium hydrocarbon is baking soda. So give the equation of the reaction involved. So this we have already done 2 or 3 times. When sodium hydrogen carbonate or baking soda it is heated, it will give us sodium carbonate plus water plus carbon dioxide. The last question is, plaster of Paris should be stored in a moisture proof container. Why? So this is very simple. Just now I have explained you. Plaster of Paris, it is formed by heating gypsum. So if we keep it in, if we do not keep it in moisture proof container, it will again react with water and again we will get gypsum back. So that's what I have mentioned here. Plaster of Paris, it should be stored in a moisture proof container because it's a powdery mass and it can absorb water to form a hard solid known as gypsum. See, I told you this reverse reaction will take place. So there I will show you again. See, this is plaster of Paris. If it's not kept in a moisture proof container, it will absorb water and we will get gypsum back. So with this, our chapter acids, bases and salts has been completed, and I'll try to discuss some more questions related to acids and bases, so which most probably I'll discuss in the next video. Till that, I want every one of you to remember to revise the entire chapter, because every concept I have discussed in all these 4 videos. So if you have not seen the previous videos, all the links I have shared in the description box. You can check the previous videos also. And if you like the video, do like, do subscribe, because many more such useful videos are yet to be uploaded. So I want every one of you to press the bell icon, so every time you will get the notification whenever new video has been uploaded. So thank you so much for watching the video. See you in my next one.